Apex Court has been functioning under an acting Chief Justice since December last year. In order to pave way for the appointment of the judiciary's leadership, Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal, along with top brass leaders, had agreed to nominate a candidate. However, the Constitutional Council meeting held today could not find a consensus, and main opposition chair KP Sharma Oli has called for the formation of a hearing committee to sort the issue out. Good evening, I'm Sarah Chitrakar, and these are the headlines of the hour. President Ram Baran begins treatment at All India Institute of Medical Science in New Delhi. The president flown to India this afternoon after health complications. The meeting of the Constitutional Council that was expected to recommend candidate for the vacant post of Chief Justice ends inconclusive as top brass leaders failed to find a consensus on the candidate. 12 people detained by police for questioning after a hospital fire in Beijing killed at least 29. Most of the deceased reported to be elderly patients and people who received amputation surgeries. And it's Manchester City up against Bayern Munich in the second leg of quarter-final at Champions League tonight. Inter Milan play Benfica, matches to kick off 45 minutes past midnight tonight. President Ram Baran has begun treatment at the All India Institute of Medical Science in New Delhi. The president has been kept in a VIP ICU and is being looked after by a team led by Dr. Puneet Mishra and Ananta Mohan. The president had been taking antibiotics for a long time, however, showed no improvements. His family members had therefore urged the Prime Minister to arrange for medical treatment in India. President Baran had reported of chest infections and was under medical supervision. On Monday, he had been taken to the capital's TU Teaching Hospital for a follow-up. Doctors attending to the president had extracted water accumulated in his lungs for a test and had concluded that apart from chest infection, his health condition was normal. President Baran is accompanied to India by his personal doctor Neeraj Bam, his family members and a medical team of 7 members. According to his son Chintan Baran, tests conducted in TU Teaching Hospital in the capital have been repeated, while few more tests have been conducted. The president was flown to Delhi on a Sri Airlines air ambulance this afternoon. Upon arrival at the Delhi airport, he was received by Nepal's ambassador to India, Shankar Sharma, and Chief of Northern Division of India's Ministry of External Affairs, Anurag Srivastav, among others. The meeting of the Constitutional Council that is expected to make candidate recommendation for the vacant post of Chief Justice has ended inconclusive. The Council's meeting had been held upon Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal's call to move ahead with the process of the appointment of Chief Justice. A consensus among parties would have helped the government recommend a candidate today itself. However, committee members have said leaders of the attending parties remained divided. During the meeting, CPN-UML chair KP Sharma Oli said the formation of a hearing committee was a must to pave way for the appointment process. Oli also emphasized on the need to find consensus among the top tier regarding all issues. The meeting was held at the Prime Minister's office in Singha Darbar and was attended by Speaker Devraj Khimire, National Assembly Chair Ganesh Timalsina, Chairperson of Main Opposition CPN-UML KP Sharma Oli, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Law Purna Bahadur Khadka, and Deputy Speaker Indira Rana Magar. A meeting held on Monday this week had decided to call for the Constitutional Council meeting to move ahead with the appointment of the head of the judiciary. The post of Chief Justice has remained vacant since former Chief Justice Cholendra Samachar Rana retired back in December. Members of the House of Representatives have questioned the work of the government and have suggested for prioritizing issues of public concern. UML parliamentarian Saraswati Subba expressed concerns about the amendment of regulations regarding the use of land. Rajendra Pandey of CPN Unified Socialist demanded for beginning the works of the Budi Gandaki hydroelectricity project at the earliest. Parliamentarian Amresh Kumar Singh urged for certification of the citizenship bill, which was endorsed twice by the lower house. Another lawmaker, Dev Prasad Timal Sinha said that the additional plight should not be created for the public because of the complications related to the citizenship. Other parliamentarians drew the government attention to increase public access to quality education in the country. They also suggested the government to prepare a budget which would be owned by everyone. Around 160 election officers and assistant election officers have participated in a two-day training program in Bara Constituency 2 ahead of the by-elections on 23rd of April. These officers are to be deployed in 137 voting centers across 82 voting stations in Bara Constituency 2. They were trained on their responsibilities, jurisdiction, techniques to establish voting centers, among others. They were also informed of the duties to be fulfilled before reaching the voting center, after reaching the voting center, facilitating voters and safely leading the voters out of the center after voting. There are 105,248 eligible voters from Bara Constituency 2. The Bagmati province government has released a report highlighting its achievements in its 100 days. Organizing a press conference at the office of the Chief Minister and Council of Ministers, Chief Minister Shalikram Jamakatel province government released the report today. The province government has listed its works in 80 points under 10 sectors including education, youth and sports, health, agriculture, infrastructure, labor employment and transportation. The Bagmati government has highlighted its decision to reduce the number of ministries from 14 to 11 and the endorsement of Provincial Civil Service Act and Local Level Service Act as its key achievements. Time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Here's the question: what do you term the management of waste of Singha Darbar inside its premises? Your options are A. Response to the metropolis, B. Appropriate move, and C. Consequence of compulsion. Voting is on. Type any WS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. The Temke Dara at the border between Bhojpur and Khotang at the height of 3,100 meters from sea level has been a top tourist destination. With the advent of summer, both domestic and international tourists have been flocking to this point to relish on the view of half a dozen mountains range from this spot. The region also has a religious significance as it has the Temke Siddha temple. Along with Temke Dara, tourists also visit Chakhewa, which is popular for its cool breeze, natural beauty and hospitality. Chakhewa, that is near district headquarters, has easy road access and has many homestays successfully hosting visitors. Since the opening of the Mundham Trail, an increasing number of tourists have been exploring the region. As a result, the local level has begun works to establish an information center in Chakhewa. Chinese tourists have successfully participated in paragliding in Pokhara for the first time since the COVID pandemic. 87 of the 180 Chinese tourists that had chartered flight to Nepal since the Chinese government lifted travel ban participated in paragliding from Mandre Dhunga to Pami. The Chinese tourist group are in Nepal for 1 week and have trekked to Myagdi Spoon Hill before returning to Pokhara yesterday. Chief Minister of Gandaki Province Khagraj Adhikari had reached Mandre Dhunga to welcome the Chinese group along with tourism entrepreneurs and locals. 25% of paragliding tourists before the COVID were Chinese tourists. Local businesses have hoped for more Chinese tourists in the days to come. Time now for international update. Twelve people have been detained by police for questioning after a hospital fire in Beijing killed at least 29, most of them patients. The fire, among the deadliest in recent years, broke out in Changfeng Hospital at about 1 p.m. local time yesterday. However, angry and concerned relatives rushed to the hospital hours later, only learning of the fire from local news reports. Many said they spent the night trying to locate loved ones. Those who were rescued have now been shifted to other hospitals for treatment. Officials have said a preliminary investigation showed that sparks generated during renovation works had ignited paint stored on site. Among those detained are the director and deputy director of the hospital, as well as the head of the firm overseeing the renovation works. Firefighters evacuated about 70 people and put out the flames within an hour of arriving. But relatives of those who were being treated at the hospital were furious with the hospital management and said hospital officials were unable to provide the names of those who had been injured or had died even after the lapse of 8 hours since the incident. Reports suggested that most patients at the hospital were elderly and some had undergone amputation surgeries which made them less mobile. Russia's defense ministry said that 8 of its long-range bombers flew over neutral waters in the Sea of Okhotsk and Sea of Japan. The aircraft provided air support to the forces of the Russian Pacific Fleet, the ministry said. A Pacific Fleet task force, including a corvette and smaller anti-submarine ships, held firing drills in the Sea of Japan on Tuesday, the ministry also said in an earlier statement. The training sorties and drills are part of a snap review of the Russian forces in the Pacific ordered by President Vladimir Putin, which started on April 14 and is set to last until April 22. Japan's Chief Cabinet Secretary Hirokazu Matsuno said on Monday that Tokyo had lodged a protest with Russia over its military exercises around disputed islands near Japan's Hokkaido. Matsuno also said that Russia informed Tokyo that it would conduct missile exercises around the disputed islands between April 18 and 22. Time now for sports update.
Sports news.
Returning to his former stomping ground without a shred of sentiment, Pep Guardiola's lead his Manchester City team out for the second leg of their Champions League quarter-final with Bayern Munich at the Allianz Arena 45 minutes past midnight tonight. The United Arab Emirates have thrashed Kuwait by 143 runs at the ACC Men's Premier Cup. After being put to bat in the match played at the Tribune University Cricket Grounds in Kantipur, the United Arab Emirates posted a mammoth total of 371 runs for the loss of 6 wickets in their 50 overs. Vritya Arvind top-scored with 185 runs, while Rohan Mustafa scored 118 and Asif Khan contributed 30 from 9 balls. Shahrukh Kudus and Parvinder Kumar picked 2 wickets each, while Yasin Patel and Saeed Monib shared a wicket apiece. In reply, Kuwait were bowled out for 228 runs in 36.3 overs. Meanwhile, in another match played today, Oman defeated Qatar by 40 runs. After being put to bat at the Mulpani ground, Oman scored 249 runs for the loss of 8 wickets in their 50 overs. Ayan Khan top-scored for Oman as he remained unbeaten at 64 runs. Skipper Maqsood scored 41, while Sandeep Gaud made 34. Muhammad Murad and Amir Farooq picked 3 wickets each, while Ikramullah Khan had 2 wickets to his name. In reply, Qatar were bowled out for 209 runs. Skipper Mohammad Rizlan top-scored for Qatar with 43 runs, while Khurram Shehzad scored 30, Imal Lianage scored 27 and Iramullah Khan added 26 runs. Bilal Khan was the pick of the Oman bowlers with 4 wickets. Jay Odedra and Akib Ilyas picked 2 wickets each, while Zishan Maqsood had a wicket to his name. In the matches slated for tomorrow, Bahrain play Singapore, while Malaysia take on Saudi Arabia. That's all for the moment. Our next English bulletin will be at 10:30 tonight. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.